What's up my students, it's your favorite Dr. Zora, and in today's class we're going to go over why you should never give up during your games. In Valorant, big score differentials can come up quick and it can be easy to get discouraged, and this video will explain why you don't need to be and that there's always a chance for a comeback and the gap can be easily closed. If you enjoy the content of this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. In the background we actually have a 5 vs 4 match, and you may be thinking this is probably an easy win on paper, and it would be, but the Omen on the other team was actually insane. In fact, he was single-handedly carrying and actually dropped a 51 bomb on us, and the match seemed to be over at 6-12, but we actually won this one at 13-12 and made an amazing comeback. The key reason we were able to win is actually for the exact reason we just mentioned. There are many matches where there's only one person carrying, and if this is the case, you can actually make some big moves and plays on the attacker side to win rounds. On the defender side of this match, we actually got clobbered as the Omen would just run down sites, and then we'd have to play retake many times and lose. If someone is hard carrying, they most likely will grab a majority of the kills and rounds on the attacker side. They push where they please, and it's easy for them to get the spike down and defend it. However, if there's only the single player doing well on the other team, you can easily grab rounds on the attacker side. The reason being is that this one player can only be at one area at a time, and the rest of the map is open for the taking. If you can identify where that player is playing, you can simply avoid the choke point they're at and go on the opposite side of the map to take over the site where the weaker players are located. From there, the high fragging Omen has to play retake, which is much harder to grab kills on than when he was on the attacking side running and gunning as he pleases. With this one simple strategy, we were able to win 6 rounds in a row to tie things up, and then a 7th round to win things out. So next time you're losing a match hard by an overperforming player, try to identify their location and just avoid them. Go for the other sites and force that player to play retake, and you'll find much more success. Now the next keynote is that rounds can easily stack up quickly in Valorant. Depending on how the match is going, usually if you're able to win a rifle round, the enemy team has to save, granting you another free round. They then have to buy the 3rd round. If you win that, they'll have to save again, granting you a 4th round. You can see by winning 2 crucial rounds, you actually gain 4 rounds total, and suddenly that 6-12 gap we were talking about that seemed helpless suddenly dwindles down to 10-12. Some teams will also fall for the bait where they start to get scared that the score is getting too close, and they make the mistake of force buying with minimal abilities and equipment to try to close things out earlier rather than being patient, which can result in another easy to win round plus an economy save, and then suddenly things are tied up. This is easier said than done, but note that round score differentials can easily be closed up, so don't give up just because enemies seem to have a big round lead when you can close it by winning a few crucial rounds, which grant you some more freebies, and that then further closes the gap and gives yourself a good chance of winning. So we kept things simple, and sometimes that's all you need. All we did was avoid the top fragger, and then we were able to frag out on the other players and take these sites and get this comeback going. So case in point, do not give up when the going gets tough, and if you take things round by round, you can easily take the game back into your hands or take a large number of rounds back to decrease the amount of elo that you're losing. Now the last point that I want to make clear here is that numbers do not always tell the full story. Sure, there may be times that you're completely underperforming, you aren't getting kills, you're at the bottom of the scoreboard, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're doing bad. It's important to see what kind of impact you're having on the game and what kinds of kills you're getting for your team. This can sometimes end up being more important or just as important as someone on your team that may be dropping a 30 bomb and carrying you. In one of my earlier games this act, I was doing terrible for my team, and I had 3 kills by the end of the first half, and it felt like I wasn't doing much and was holding them back. However, what ended up happening was I clutched a ton of rounds in the second half and helped my team win multiple important rounds that helped keep us in the game. 9-9, big round, clutched it. 11-10, huge round where we have to eco if we lost, and I clutched that as well. So you can see here that I was able to make up for my poor performance in the first half by fragging a little bit and clutching for my team in the second half on those big rounds. There's always a chance for you to start performing at any point of a match. To be honest, I usually do pretty poorly on the attacker side. I'm more of a support player. I'm not one that goes in and entries for my team, so I'm much better at stalling and supporting my team on the defender side. So this increase in performance on the attacker side was a little unexpected for this game, but this could be you too. A lot of times a change in sides will switch things up. It changes how you have to play, and it puts you in a more comfortable position that you can frag out and make that impact for your team later on in the game. There's always a chance that you may activate that Super Saiyan, you feel me? But even if you do still end up underperforming for the whole game, you only got a couple kills in your hands, hey, maybe 3 of those 4 kills were from big clutch rounds that we just mentioned that put the enemy on eco, and you helped get your team 2 rounds essentially. So you had a big impact with those kills. Quality of kills matters much more than the quantity of kills. It's not always about fragging out big numbers. It definitely helps most of the time, but it's the impact you want to focus on. Especially at the beginning of matches, you may see someone dropping 10 kills quickly at the start of the match, giving them a big head start to pretty much top frag for the rest of the game. But then you realize those are majority economy kills that didn't really make a big difference in how the match is going compared to those clutch kills on the 1 rifle round that you got. Suddenly that 5, 10, maybe even 15 kill difference between you and the top fragger is not all that much of a difference when you consider how the kills were obtained. So never give up in your game, guys, just as how you should never give up on hitting that subscribe button and liking this video and commenting down below. To emphasize the impact that I had in this game, I'm going to show you guys those big rounds that I clutched up and show you guys the in-game comms and how I was able to hype up the rest of my team in the second half with these plays.
117 is jet.
Rev's weak.
One enemy remaining.
There's one bullet.
Seven.
One bullet.
Don't pick, none of us.
Last player standing.
Nice.
One less standing.
Let's go.
It's down. Come on, let's go. Stim
Watch,
beacon
someone watch
down.
Phoenix body. Someone watch Phoenix. No, sewer.
Oh my god.
Sit still.
Have the flanker?
Nice.
Oh, they
let's
got
go.
recycle plates. I don't know. No one peek, we win.
One
He's
enemy
90.
remaining.
Nice.
Last player
TK.
standing.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Oh my lord.
Dude,
See what
all
happens.
of
We
Let's go.
CS
Hit
now, we
those.
traded every kill right there. Every single.
He's got a one way right away for it.
We're on side, boys.
Good backside.
30 seconds left.
One more backside. One
30
more backside.
seconds. Backside, still backside. On heaven. Let the bomb out.
One enemy remaining.
Nice. Don't peek, we win.
Spike planted.
He's on heaven.